Jersey. Tonight, Week 15 begins with a great Thursday night matchup between the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from MetLife Stadium. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Start on the ground. Hall. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
Well, they use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. There for the tackle, Jacob Martin. The Jets had 4 and 9 now on the year, but they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
And all the way in, touchdown, New York. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of the team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week, we're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready up.
And they'll begin by running the option. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion. And I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Lance. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. Here's Aaron Siposs out now to punt on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
I think we call that season's greetings right there. He came up, pow! Knocked him for a loss.
Let's go!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3 and out.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win. But we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together. They've got a chance of coming out with a W.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, Charles, when you think about this defense, this week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return.
And the Jets will take over.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. There's Wilson to throw.
He dumps this one off here to Hall.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory. Down at the 33. In motion left is Wilson. They'll give to Hall. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson.
Crossing route catch made by Johnson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
And he'll get this down only to the 18.
Talanoa Hufanga in on the stop.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 2nd and 9. Wilson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wilson. And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. This time Wilson will throw. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets.
Elijah Moore
with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And It's now 14-0.
Patterson back out there to send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Javonte Williams hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are back within a score.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second and very short, Wilson being chased out left. Gonna look deep for Wilson. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. On second down, Wilson dancing to his left. He's got a man, complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That one good for 37 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. In motion left is Wilson.
Hall ought to give up the middle. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper in second and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
They'll run with Hall. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll try to run with Hall. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Third down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They were stopped last time from the 1. Now here's another try on 3rd and goal. Now they send a man in motion right. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. Riley Patterson now on for the field goal. And this obviously about as short of a field goal as you can get. Patterson's kick is good. So 3 points on the board. As easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
This will be fielded inside the 5. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left.
And this throw will be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And he brings this one back. It's a pick-6 and a Jet touchdown. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped.
And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way to the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy who made the play, he gets the points. That really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation, time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches.
Lance now to throw.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with a home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Throwing now is Lance. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo.
91 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
Play action. Now it's Lance. And this one too low.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
2nd and 10. Lance going to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Lance. And that will be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson. He finds his man. Complete. It's Wilson. They'll give him 4 yards there. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has to get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Garrett Wilson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is now 24. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Yeah, he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. On 2nd and 11 now. Lance. That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's the option play now to the left. Well, he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Out quickly to Jeudy. Touchdown, Broncos. Jerry Jeudy, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. From the 6. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump-off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice gain. Straight ahead is Hall. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. Touchdown, Jets. Bird Smith Jr., 33 yards. And the Jets are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. Patterson back out there to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Let's go. On the ball.
Desperation time here. Lance trying to lay one up deep.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there, and he winds up giving the ball away.
Moore, the man in motion. Running left, it's Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Patterson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. On 2nd down, Williams. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here we go.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Ready?
Here's Lance. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Lance and company going on 4th down.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position.
A handoff for Hall.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Hall again on 2nd down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he'll find Hall. And he does not get to the 1st down marker as they stop him at the 19. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt.
Patterson's kick is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
To throw, it's Lance. Got his man, it's Dulcich.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
Second down at 6 now from the 42.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Lance now on first down. That's taken in by Dulcich. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. The busy night continues for Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this run.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Here we go. Here we go.
On the option to give to Williams here. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now, 3rd and goal. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
Let's go. Right, 97. Ready?
Lance to throw for it on 4th down. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Just all around a solid performance, and now they've got the 3-score lead here, Charles, so the final seconds of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, in this one, they've been in control, haven't they? They've earned this victory. No question who the better team was out there in this game. And frankly, the score could have been a lot worse than it was. Give them a lot of credit for how they played in this one.
Well, partner, under the lights in prime time, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for the Jets, the win gets them to 5-9 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Denver, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.